Pace with control of this race. Here comes a run from Davey Hazard. He blocks the 10. Not going to be enough. Ryan Pace is going to win at Talladega.
Trying to hold off Wilson. He's done a good job so far. Wilson, one last desperate attempt to the bottom. He won't get there. Nick Curry wins at Bristol.
Coming out turn number 2, coming down the back straightaway here. Looks like he's in a class of his own right now.
Merzlak, one final time, get around the 55, big time send.
He hits the wall, he hits it, he gets the lead, but can he hang on to it? Oh my goodness, he made it to the line!
Big push down the backstretch is going to give him a good run through the corners.
Just a little bit
Follow from the 1.
A little bit of contact there for second, but coming to the line, Toby Roberson's going to take home the checkered flag and victory here from the new Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Before I wrap things up here in this segment, your thoughts on the type of race we're going to see tonight? And I would have to agree.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to tonight's feature presentation of the TMP Super Cup Series here live on JTN. So glad to join us here tonight from the Milwaukee Mile. As always, I'm your host, Joe Twansky. Alongside me tonight, the lovable, courageous, advantageous Mr. Ricky Collette. Ricky, welcome to Milwaukee.
Joe, we're here for a bit of a throwback tonight at Milwaukee with the Super Cup Series here with TMP Racing League. Gonna be a fun night. 90s Milwaukee, 90s cars. Gonna be a lot of interesting racing here. Very flat track here at Milwaukee. Gonna be running Busch Series Fix tonight, so these cars are gonna have a little bit of a shorter wheelbase here than usual. A little less power. They're gonna be wheeling them around this place. One lane, but there's a lot of places to go here.
A lot of places to go indeed, folks. Again, so happy you're joining us tonight on JTN. Without further ado, though, Ricky, why don't you take us through tonight's starting lineup?
With pleasure, Joe. For tonight's race with the TMP Cup Series, starting on the pole at a time of 26.941 seconds in the number 22 Pontiac is going to be Wes Dobbs. Starting in the second spot in the number 41 car is going to be Josh Boyer. Starting from third spot is going to be the 4 machine of Tom Musa. Starting from fourth is going to be the 33 machine of Terry Fasthouse, and that's Skull Bandit. Fifth spot is going to be the 51 car of Roger Nebelsack. From sixth spot is going to be the 60 car that's going to be piloted this evening by Ron Milkey. From seventh spot is going to be the 6 car of Rich Napick, and from eighth position is going to be the 44 car of Dan Rubino. Richard Finkel in the 2 car will start from the 9th spot. Rounding out the top 10 tonight in qualifying is going to be the 78 car Wade Driscoll.
Legendary oval, folks. Again, so glad you joined us here tonight on JTN. Going to have a fun show in store for you as we get ready to hear the command to get these engines fired. Fans on their feet awaiting the command as all 14 cars are gridded. Ricky is falling over up here in the booth.
Drivers, start your engines!
And there you hear the command as these 14 Super Cup Series drivers get their race cars fired up to go racing here tonight from Milwaukee. Well, it's a pair of Pontiacs, of course, on row number 1 with Wes Dobbs and Josh Boyer. Row 2, you got Tom Musa in the number 4 and the 33 of Tom Fastcows. Roger Nebelsack in the 51 going to line up in 5th with the 60 of Ron Milkey there in 6th. 7th tonight going to be the 6 car of Rich Napick with the 44 of Dan Rubino to his outside. Rich Finkel and Wade Driscoll going to round out your top 10 in row number 5 with the 108 of Doug Palmer, 48 Phil Lacasse, 7 of Mike Hartman, and the 19 of Rod Weston rounding out your field again of 14 here tonight. Classic short track racing here under the bright light sky. here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So glad you joined us here for the first race of the 2022-23 TMP Super Cup Series season. Wes Dobbs with control here at the front of the field in his Pontiac, awaiting the green flag to be dropped. Down and away we go. Green flag, and we're racing here in 2022 with the TMP Super Cup Series. Alrighty,
Josh Boyer gets a really good start here, Joe. Gets a great launch. Was able to power bind the outside line right on past Dobbs. Takes a very commanding lead here coming down to turn 3 to complete this first lap. Dobbs going to give chase, though. Right behind him, the 4-car Tom Musa, 33-car Fast Cash, and Roger Nebelsack in that 5th spot.
Single file throughout the field right now. Doug Palmer has slid back 3 spots into the 14th position, but other than that, pretty stationary around the rest of the field. Watching our leader, Josh Boyer, here down the back straightaway, down here into turn 3. The worst camera in all of sim racing here in quarter number 3.
A lot of motorhomes sitting in the infield there, but you see the 22-car Dobbs starting to give chase to this 41-car Boyer right back on his back bumper here. Dobbs trying to figure out where he's going to make this move. You see Josh Boyer taking a higher lane. Dobbs is going to try taking that lower lane, get a little downforce on the nose of that car. You see how that helps him on the exit. He's going to be right there with the 41, not with the momentum just yet, but you can see that car's able to arc the corner a little shallower than this 41 machine of Josh Boyer right now. Boyer making it work, though. You see how close he's getting to the wall. You got to think that right front tire can't hang on to that for very long.
And we didn't get a chance to welcome in everyone tuning in tonight. A big welcome to Ann, Barbara, Mark, all of you tuning in here. Thank you so much, as always, for tuning in to JTN here. Of course, Monday night, TMP Super Cup Series. Look at all those motorhomes.
Look at all those motorhomes. Josh Boyer still continuing to lead this. 2nd spot still goes to the 22-car Dobbs. Tom Musa, though, in that number 4 Ford Thunderbirds, giving chase to these guys, slowly reeling them in. Musa's been running faster laps with these guys past few times around this place, Joe, and I think Tom Musa has got a fast little machine right now. He's just need a little bit of time to let these guys get themselves sorted out. And you see he's making a move on the 22 to the outside line, which is interesting. Almost looking like he's trying to arc it near the middle of 3 and 4 there to get a really good run off. We'll see if this pays off coming into turn number 1.
That TMP Racing Series Thunderbird starting to use that outer line again, like you said, trying to get momentum, I think, right now off the corners to try to set up a pass down the straightaway. Musa rides in 3rd behind Wes Dobbs in 2nd, but it's still the Josh Boyer show out in front of the field in the Cheese at Pontiac. Again, these cars modeled after the 90s Busch Grand National Series cars. You see Bino making a move there on Milky for position in that 44, past the Winn-Dixie 60. Interesting to see the Mark Martin Winn-Dixie paint scheme on a Chevrolet.
Stranger things have happened.
I think you ran a 43 Toyota at one point.
I did, yes.
Yes.
Which isn't actually super out of line.
No, because it has happened.
In the,
yes.
Nationwide Series.
I knew you were going to bring that up. I really want to find that diecast. If I could, that's what I'm trying to find.
Post-recession, Petty Enterprises is a sight to behold. And what else is also a sight to behold right now? Josh Boyer holding a commanding lead out here. Musa is kind of leveled out in lap time. Same thing with Wes Dobbs here in the 22 compared to Boyer. I wonder if Boyer maybe has a bit of a long run car here, 9 laps into this run already. Starting to get some wear in on these tires. Maybe just starting to get a little bit of an even playing field between him and these other 2 leaders.
Well, the fixed setup here tonight, right, Ricky, as we always have here in the TMP Racing League. So, again, it's a great place if you're looking to find out how to race. But fixed setup tonight. So a lot of what it is right now is how these drivers are attacking these tracks, how aggressive they are going to be going into the corners as Boyer continues to lead. Now, 41 car was not the fastest in practice, right? He was 2nd fastest behind Wes Dobbs. Dobbs was really quick all throughout practice through happy hour. Nonetheless, though, Josh Boyer always the guy you look to here in TMP to be the guy up at the front of the field come night's end.
always is the guy to beat at these kinds of tracks. Flat tracks especially seems like where Josh Boyer really seems to come into his own here. Good at every track, but these tracks seem to always kind of bring out the best in him. But you see that Wes Dobbs here in the 22 is not letting him go without a fight. Keeping that whole 2-car fight for the lead here underneath a second, only about 0.6 behind our leader at the moment. Running pretty much even lap times with him, as I was saying. So, not a bad doing by the 22 here at the moment. I think you got to wonder if maybe he's got to start mixing it up a little bit, try to see if he can figure out something that Josh isn't doing there in the 41 car to get a little bit of an edge, something to save those tires. If you can find anything out there, especially something that can save that right front a little bit in terms of how you're attacking these turns, it could mean a lot if we get a long green run, which is what we're just looking like right now.
And there you see stationary here at the top of the pit lane, single file throughout the field. There you see your first battle on track. Rod Weston looking to the inside away. Driscoll for position down into 1.
Weston has a spot. Driscoll's up high, though. Let's see if he can get a run back off the turn. He's arcing the turn a little interestingly. And you see the staying side by side.
He put him in the wall.
Coming down here. Wade Driscoll grazes the wall a little bit. That's going to let Rod Weston get the momentum he needs to sail on by him. Take that spot. That's going to be for that 11th position. 10th position, actually. Excuse me. So Rod Weston now in the top 10. Right behind these two, you see Phil Lacassa in that 48 machine. This is familiar colors in the lower ranks. It's an ARCA car, not really a Busch car, but I don't know, Joe, do you take points off for that?
No. No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No. If anything, I take
do
off.
Do you want to just to bust his hump?
No, as he's making a move to the inside away. Driscoll now for position.
And you can see how tight these guys are getting coming off of turn 4 there. Driscoll got very close to the wall there in the 78 car. Had to pull it down the track. Still holding a pretty good gap on Lacasse at the moment, but Lacasse definitely seems like he is able to keep that car closer to the paint than the 78 at the moment.
It's just a difference in technique right now through the corners that we're seeing, right, guys? And that's always good, is to see drivers being able to take different lines through the corners. That's what's going to provide you with some good racing as the run goes on, because each line going to wear those tires a little bit differently. But, again, right now, it's Josh Boyer with the lead. Wes Dobbs still second. That gap staying pretty consistent right now. Tom Musa has kind of fallen back a little bit there in third. Roger Nebelsack right now runs in fourth. And rounding out your top 5, Tom Fastcows in the 33 School Bandit.
Fastcows here in the 33 got really close to the wall earlier. Last time around, like that car got really tight coming off of 4, had to chase it. And that let Rich Napick really close the gap on him. You see Napick throwing it in deep into the turn here, getting right to the back bumper of the 33. We'll see if Fastcows handles it a little better. Tom Fastcows still hanging out to that 5th spot for the moment. But Napick just ran about 0.2 of a second quicker than the 33 machine. I think the 6 car is definitely starting to come to life. Mike Hartman actually coming down on pit road in the 7 car here, Joe.
Can you, do you see any sponsors on that 7 car?
Not from this camera angle. He's got sponsors on there, just from this camera angle, it's hard to read.
I just see contingencies.
Hang on. Link Express.
Okay.
I don't know what that is.
I apologize. I am missing. We are missing that paint scheme there on the 7 car, so apologies on that.
Yo, Joe, as you've been kind of looking through the field here, I've noticed that Wes Dobbs has started to close that gap back down on Boyer in the 41 car here. Back down to half a second. Dobbs has been running faster laps. Boyer just ran one even with him, but Dobbs kind of seems to have found something here as this run starting to progress to already 20 laps in of this 125 lap race.
And we're
coming across the line here. 27.6 for Josh Boyer, right behind him. 27.54 for Wes Dobbs. So Dobbs definitely starting to trail down. You got to wonder if that 22 car maybe found some way to kind of nurse those tires a little bit more than what Boyer's doing up front there.
Well, and another thing to talk about, we can go about 31 laps on a tank of fuel. We're getting to the end of that fuel run now. Was Dobbs just kind of waiting a little bit, saving his tires? I would have to think, compared to the 41, he did a little better job of conserving those tires. I think that's probably a pretty good thought to have right now, seeing that gap start to shrink. But and also remember, we're going to need to make a pit stop, but we're going to get a halfway break at lap 63. So these drivers know they're competing for those extra points. They know they're doing all those things to get to halfway, but also having to make a green flag pit stop on a very tricky pit road here at Milwaukee, which we haven't talked about yet, and we'll get a chance to talk about why it's so tricky. But a very tricky pit road. It could shake things up a little bit here throughout the field.
Yeah, Joe, they've actually called it the tricky triangle in this Midwest land.
I'm from the Midwest. I've never heard that.
But they call the pit road that, even though it is neither tricky nor a triangle.
Yeah, that's weird, Ricky. It's almost like you made it up.
It's almost like I made it up. Phil Lacasse also down on pit road here in that 48 car, taking an early stop. But Josh Boyer starting to kind of stem the bleeding here at about 4/10. It seems like Boyer started to figure out something to kind of keep the 22 at bay. They're starting to manage that gap, I think, is what he's doing. This track is definitely one of those ones, very flat track, where catching someone is one thing, passing them is a completely different concept. So you can get all the way up to them, but you're going to have to figure out how to get around them when you get there, and that's going to be where a lot of the brain power is going to be. As we're talking, though, Dan Rubino also down on pit road. The 7 Hartman back down for some reason. 48 Lacasse coming off of pit road. Everyone's starting to take some pit stops. Some people actually choosing to come in earlier than needed. Like you said, Joe, 31 laps to a run here. It's only lap 25, and some of these guys are already tagging out those tires.
Yeah, and that worries me, too, because you'd have to think a lot of these leaders are only going to make the one stop. They're only going to need to make the one stop. And if you're pitting now, you're going to have to make an extra stop somewhere. You're going to have to save some fuel somewhere.
Aren't we going to stop at that halfway break?
Well, that's what I'm saying. We're going to stop there, but if they pit now, they can't make it 31 laps to get to 63.
Oh, you're right. See, you're the one doing the math up here. 78 away, Driscoll also down, though. So it seems to have brought a bunch of people down on pit road, for better or for worse. We'll have to see how that determines what happens on this next stint of the race, getting to the halfway point. Josh Boyer still hanging on to this lead, but Wes Dobbs, very, 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 very minimal chips being taken out of this lead by that 22 car, down to 0.41 from 0.44 a few laps ago. So, and here comes Dobbs down pit road, coming to lap 28. Wes Dobbs going to jump down pit road. Really got on it late there, too. Very good pit entry. Got down to speed and everything, but he's down on pit road right now. That leaves a 51 of Roger Nebelsack out there. And then the 4, Tom Musa, and the 44, Boyer. And I think that's it. I think everyone else is coming down. Tom Fasthouse with 33 is down. 6 of Napic's down right now. Richard Finkel's coming off of pit road in that 2 machine. 1 away of Doug Bahomer, also on pit road. Wes Dobbs coming off of pit road, merging on that back straightaway right now. So now the big question is, when does Josh Boyer come in? I gotta think he's gonna be soon here, Joe, because lap 29 on the board. At the moment, we got a caution.
Oh, it's Rubino.
Dan Rubino around in turn number 4.
7 car.
Mike Hartman also around.
Caution number 1 is out.
That is gonna throw a wrench into a few guys' plans. Everyone from 6th on back, as far as I can see right now, is a lap down.
See what happens here. I think the 7 car goes around all by himself.
Yeah, I see. He just kind of runs up the track and starts over, rotate, tries to save it, and just goes around on him. 7 had just come off a pit road, so you got to wonder if maybe on cold tires, 44, Rubino spins behind him. I don't know if he was spinning because he was trying to avoid him. I would imagine that's what happened there.
It looks like he came down across the nose of the 2 car, Fenkel.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Oh, yeah, he got loose. He looks like he slammed on the brakes behind the 19, so a pair of spins there, independent of each other, bring out our first caution, working lap 29.
Right side. I don't see a lot of damage on either one of those cars, so I think they'll live to fight another day. A lot of guys coming down pit road here. Pretty much everyone that could feasibly come down pit road here is going to come down pit road. Some of these guys going to have to wait and take that wave around. West Dobbs gonna be one of them, unfortunately. This is really gonna mess up that 22 team's plans at the moment. Because now they're gonna have to take the wave around, and while they can take the wave around and
they're not gonna be even on fuel.
Not a lot of wear on those tires either. There is a few laps on those tires, so Dobbs gonna have to deal with that, and that might actually hurt him if we get a long enough run to this halfway point. The lights went out on the pace car too for some reason. Looks like they
so quickie
threw another
cautions
lap
here
on it, so we should at least be doing one more time around before the caution. We get that one to green.
Yeah, we're gonna get some quick cautions here in TMP Super Cup Series, Racing League, everything. Where they have it set up so the pace car will only make that one circuit. They'll only give the drivers one pass at pit lane, and admins and race officials will be able to add laps. So cool little trick that they're employing using road course style cautions at all the races this year, being able to add those laps here and there to kind of help condense the races, and we're always appreciative of that. While we make our way back around and get ready to go back green flag racing, we'd like to remind you we got some great races coming up later on this week, including tomorrow night Maverick Cup Series action. It's Maverick Night in America from Dover, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Then it's the Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series from the Bristol Motor Speedway Thursday night. We're going head-to-head with the Truck Series, second year in a row. The NASCAR Truck Series, that is. Join us to see if we finish our race before them. Then it's the Maverick Cup Series next Tuesday night. Again, from the Bristol Motor Speedway, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Those races and much, much more live right here only on JTN. You remember that last year? We started after the truck race started and we finished before them.
Oh, yeah. That was fun.
That was pretty funny.
Got to be coming back to green here. Josh Boyer still leading. Roger Nebelsack was a big benefactor in all of this. Now in the second spot, a chance to take this lead from Boyer if he can fight it out of his cold, dead hands here. Josh Boyer leading him back, waiting on that flag man up in the stand, waiting on him. And we're not going.
Ah.
You were waiting on that, Joe. See what happens here. I don't see anyone reshuffling for position, so I wonder if they were trying to wait till the last possible minute to make sure everyone caught the field here. Well, Joe, I did the first one and it fell on its face. Do you want to do the second?
Going back green this time by with Josh Boyer controlling a restart. Roger Nebelsack there in second. Tom Moose third. Rod Weston, Ron Milwaukee, Wes Dobbs, I believe the first car back on, or actually Weston still on the lead lap. So those top five all just came down the pit lane. Cars behind them, couple lap older tires. All right, here we go down into the restart zone. Green flag, we're back underway.
Roger Nebelsack, that 51, got a really good jump on that restart. Gonna try to use that to his advantage to fight with Boyer, but Boyer really good at 1 and 2. Gonna try to power down this back straightaway, but Nebelsack still actually keeping him in tow.
Looks like staying right there in tow. Already Dobbs able to make it around the 60 car of Milwaukee.
Before Tom Musa goes really high, Rod Weston sees that spot, tries to get a nose in, can't necessarily do it just yet. Coming down across the line though. Josh Boyer holding on to his lead. Roger Nebelsack really chases up the track. That lets Tom Musa get right to his back bumper here. Musa's going to try to make a move here to the inside, it looks like.
Musa tried to make a move, wasn't able to get it done that time. Down into turns 3 and 4. Still hunting the inside of the 51 of Roger Nebelsack as we head back down the front straightaway.
Josh Boyer still leading. Nebelsack right behind him. Ran a faster lap than Boyer last time by. You see Boyer trying to chase it up the track in turn number 1 there. A lot of these guys doing that, interestingly enough. I really think that they're trying to arc that turn so you can get the power off. Just so that momentum carries you down into turn 3. Make it as hard as possible for someone to set up that pass going into 3. Single file freight train all the way through the field here right now, but you see the top 3 under a blanket right now as Roger Nebelsack is there. He is looking left, looking right at Tom Moose. on Josh Boyer, and Tom Musa's right behind him. I had a burp in my mouth. Tom Musa tried to make a move there, couldn't do it, had to back out of it. And you saw he lost a little bit of ground, but he's going to try to chase the 51 back down, coming to 3.
Off of turn number 4, top 3 condensing together. Wes Dobbs has made his way around Rod Weston for 4th down the front straightaway as well. So we'll watch to see if this 22 car can close in on the battle at the front. Top 3 again, all underneath the blanket. Boyer, Nebelcek, Musa down the back straightaway.
Boyer, Nebelcek, Musa still hanging on to this. Tom Musa really throws it in deep there going into 3. You saw how close he got to the back of the 51 of Nebelcek. Tom Musa's got a really good entry going on the 51 car here. It seems like that's pretty consistent between turn 1 and turn 3, but it seems like because Roger Nebelcek is kind of chasing Boyer up the track, he can arc it just a little better. And we got a caution on track. 44, Dan Rubino, and the 48 of Phil Lacasse, both around on the front straightaway.
Front of the fans. Fans are up and standing here, trying to get a good view of what happened. Let's get you the best view in the business.
Yo, looks like the 44 of Dan Rubino just was chasing that car up the track, got really tight for him, couldn't chase it anymore, ran out of racetrack, bounced off the wall, and Phil Lacasse nowhere to go on that. Right side, not a lot of damage for either car again. Phil making the smart move there to just kind of lock her down. Don't risk any damage to that car as he goes into the outside wall in turn 3. I spoke too soon.
And folks, that's what happens when you see... he still hit the 44 though, coming off the corner.
He did, but there wasn't a lot of damage off that car. He just banged up that right side pretty hard, trying to come back to pit road here because I think all of his tires are blown out. If not all of them, most of them are. Probably won't go lap down, unfortunately. Everyone pitting except for Josh Boyer. Joe, this is
it's lonely out in front of the field.
Little wrinkle in the strategy. This wasn't a short run either. We had a few laps out there.
It's
see if
a
anyone
lone...
takes 2 tires on this too. If Boyer's staying out, this might be a good time to experiment with it. You know that in 20 laps we're going to have that halfway caution. Any track position you gain on pit road is going to be worth its weight in gold here. And you see Tom Musa blowing off pit road before anyone else. I think Musa took 2 tires.
Oh, we got a log jam.
Everyone going for the same spot there coming off pit road. Mitchell in chat saying I had a burp in my mouth. I just joined this live, so I'm gonna put the blame.
I didn't need to know that.
I'm gonna put the blame on the viewership for having burps in their mouths as well as to why I just burped while trying to give this call.
Whoa, Ricky, you can't do that. Never blame the viewers.
Never blame the viewers, except you can. That's not blaming the view. That's not blaming the viewer. That is accountability. Fun fact, when you drink soda before a broadcast, you burp a little bit.
That would have been a good idea.
That would have been a good idea because it's a burping contest. But now, Joe, going to be going back at lap 43 of 125. Like I said, 60 was the caution point, right?
63.
63. Josh Boyer been out there for a little bit on those tires. Not super, super long, but a good 10 laps on those tires. Tom Musa's on 2 tires. And then the 60 car, Milky, the 33, Tom Fastcows, 51 of Roger Nebelcek's relegated back to 5th right now. If you guys took that strategy play, I think, on 2 tires.
Yeah, and taking that play, get some, a little bit of track position, a little fresher tires. We'll see how it plays out. I don't know how it's going to play out. I feel like for Tom Musa it might be okay, but for Milky, for Fast Cow, we'll just have to wait and see how it works out. Down away we go. Green flag once again here. Lap 43 of 125 from Milwaukee.
Josh Boyer trying to get away as quick as he can, and that cheese it Pontiac trying to, I guess that is the colloquialism, to cheese it. because he knows that these guys behind him have slightly fresher tires, and that might factor in here. It's a flat track with a lot of handling to play. But we'll see what happens with Tom Musa on 2 tires here. Musa, theoretically, his fresh rubber should work, but you know, it's a handling track. Joe, and you and I both know this. When you take 2 tires compared to 4 tires, it doesn't always necessarily mean it's going to be a net plus. Sometimes that really throws off the handling of the car.
And a big gaggle of cars here. Wes Dobbs actually had to go to the back of the longest line after those pit stops in the 22, so a big loss of track position for that 22 car.
See Tom Musa keeping Josh Boyer in tow right now, but right behind him, we said it, a bunch of cars underneath a blanket, the 60 car of Ron Milkey leading them right now. 33 Tom Faskhouse right behind him. 5th spot is Roger Nebelsack again. Rob Weston in that 6th spot. So these guys really can't get away from each other at the moment. Watching these guys come around here. Josh Boyer actually starting to run faster laps than Tom Musa in that 4 car. Right behind him, though, you see Ron Milkey getting a big mirror full of Skull Bandit right there. 33 car Fast Cows. Looks like he's a little faster than the 60 right now. Make sure his presence is known in the rear view mirror there. Going to try setting up for that pass. You see he gets the nose to the inside of 60. Milkey chases it right up to the wall. Gets really tight, eggs onto it. Side by side here, coming down the front straightaway. Into turn 1, Tom Faskhouse should have the preferred line here and pull right on by that 60 car.
Right on by that 60 car he goes. That's going to now allow Roger Nebelsack to try to make a pass as Rich Fankel looks to the inside of the 51 now down into turn 3.
Rich Fankel's got that nose in, that 2 Ford, almost that Taurus, Ford Thunderbird to the inside of the 51 Pontiac or Roger Nebelsack. He's going to try to take it in here and see if he can get that edge. He's got the nose to the door panel of the 51, but Nebelsack's going to have to drive off here, and he's going to pull away from that 2 and clear him coming down the back straightaway here. Haven't missed anything for the lead at the moment. Josh Boyer still hanging on to this lead. Tom Musa is starting to chip into that little by little, though, starting to run some faster laps. Only has about 14 laps to do it. Those laps are going to go by quick here. You see the 51 of Nebelsack getting to the inside. The 60 of Milkey. He's got that nose in there. Can't really make it work just yet, but he's going to make another run at it coming into turn number 3 here as Milkey throws in deep, trying to make that defensive. We'll see what Nebelsack does. He tries to get that center off. And you see how low down the track Roger Nebelsack is compared to that 60 car. He's really running that bottom better. And I think the 60 took 2 tires. Nebelsack, I think, took 4 tires. Yeah. So I think that's where that speed differential is coming from.
And now you're starting to see the benefit of those 4 tires, too, now that we're a couple laps. And the runner's contact in the 60!
Almost around, and the 60 hangs on to it.
Ron Milkey with a heck of a save there coming off of turn number 2. Keeps the race green. Attaboy has to go out to the driver of the Winn-Dixie Chevrolet.
Looks like the 2 of Fankel just kind of ran out of racetrack, trying to race side by side with Milkey in the 60 there. They made contact, and man, he did a great job hanging on to that thing.
Think the 60 might owe the 2-1 then, moving forward?
It's a flat track. Usually I'd say you get like 1.
You get 1?
You know, it's that old adage, fool me once, shame on me, fool me twice. Won't get fooled again.
Yep, that's how that goes for sure, Ricky. You got it. Nailed it.
Slam dunked it into the hole as Josh Boyer still leading here. Actually, he's been able to equalize these lap times with Tom Musa. So Musa was gaining on Boyer, and then Boyer found something here and has started to kind of extend that gap. This is actually an interesting little point here, Joe, because we didn't know how much everyone's kind of blind right now on this whole tire thing. You see a 33 of Fast Cows underneath the 51 of Nebelsack. They're side by side coming out of the back straightaway. We'll try to make the stop quick. We don't really know what tires we're going to do there, and you see 2 tires versus no tires. Doesn't really seem to necessarily lean in the favor of the guy that took tires. Roger Nebelsack powered on by the 33 there to take that 3rd spot. And, oh, you see Richard Fenkel really kicked it sideways there to keep it off the wall, and he does. What I love about flat tracks, you're always up on the wheel, even if it doesn't seem like it. These guys are just on the ragged edge out there.
This isn't even battle towards, like, for the lead. The 2 leaders are way out in front, right? They got about almost a whole straightaway over 3rd place, Roger Nebelsack. Got Rod Weston and Wes Dobbs now kind of close together, battling for position. Then you got a second gaggle of cars here at the back of the field.
Wes Dobbs been doing a great job of getting on past these guys. Just had a great move on Rod Weston last time by, coming in turn 3. Just absolutely sent it barreling in when Weston took the higher line and flew on by him. And you see Wes Dobbs really's got this track figured out right now. He's been putting up good lap times consistent with the leaders, and he wants to be back up front. He wants to be where the action is. But really no one giving anything out here on track because they know that caution's coming at lap 63, and that's only a few laps. And I know that sounds like, oh, well, why don't you just ride around? But you see right now how valuable track position is. Any gain in position that you can get right now before this caution is going to be beneficial to you if you can make this pit stop work. For the moment, though, Josh Boyer still leading. Tom Musa has been able to trim that lead back down to 7/10 from about 8.8 a few laps ago. But it might be a little too late for Musa here. Coming around lap 59 of 125. Don't have about 5 laps here until this halfway point caution. So unless you can make a pass of that lead before then, all the 41's got to do is just hang on and then get on pit road and get 4 fresh tires, and we'll be back on even footing with everyone else. Further back, though, you see the 22 of Wes Dobbs is all over Tom Fasthouse right now. So he's get to the outside of him, coming through 3 and 4 there. He's got a power on by them. Look at that. What a power move by Wes Dobbs to take that 5th position. And now Rod Weston's going to try to size up that 33 also in the 19 car here to see if he can find some way around him. But it looks like the 33 of Fasthouse is going to pull away a little bit.
Yeah, back at the front, though, we got 3 laps left here before the halfway break. Josh Boyer still leads. Tom Musa starting to close the gap there on the back of the 41. Might just be too late to get it done.
We'll see, because I thought it was equalizing until the oh, you just see it right there how much Musa just closed that gap. I think Boyer's car is starting to go south here, Joe. Tom Musa is right on his back bumper. I think this is the point in the run. They're very late on these rubber. Tom Musa almost gets into his back bumper. They're going into one. That's how much momentum he had there. Had to take an evasive maneuver.
He's got something
Josh
working
Boyer
right
just
now.
Trying to play the defensive here to see if he can hold off Tom Musa for 2 more laps. Musa throwing it in deep there, though. You see he's right there in the back bumper. Boyer's coming around. Cross the line. This will be 63 of... And the caution is out.
So we are at the halfway break here. Josh Boyer going to take home those bonus points for leading, and then I believe it's top 5.
I think Tom Musa just needed 1 more lap there. You would have been there, Joe.
So Josh Boyer returns to Milwaukee, picking up right where he left off, as he is now around.
What?
Yeah, he's around. Let's get you. I don't know what happened. It happened by the motorhomes.
Oh, it looks like it was slowed down. Tom Musa didn't slow down enough and sent him around.
Uh-oh. I think Musa was still just kind of running. Looks like he's just still running those corners.
Still running those ball laps.
Yeah.
No damage for either car, though, and I think that really gave Josh Boyer an advantage because look at that gap. The 41 has everyone else on the field coming onto pit road.
Should be easy in, easy out. 22 gonna swing around here. Good sized pit stalls here in Milwaukee. Folks, would like to remind you can head on over now to the JTN merch store. Pick yourself up some JTN logo merch. If you have the means to do so, again, be a friend, tell a friend about us here on JTN, and go pick yourself up some great JTN merch. Again, JTN merch store, link down in the video description below. We lost our little product bar that we had going down below the streams, which I'm a little disappointed about, but nonetheless, again, you can head on over to the JTN merch store. That stuff's still up there. Go check it out. Again, link down in the video description below. A lot of great other options on there, too. Ricky, did you know football's back?
Football's back?
Yeah. Football's back.
Where did it go, Joe? Where did football go?
It left, but now it's
It
back.
left. It left the building.
You know how I know football's back?
How do you know?
I stood out in the rain for an hour and a half Saturday night waiting to get into the stadium. Because in their infinite knowledge, instead of letting us into the stadium so we could get shelter underneath the bleachers, they made us stand outside when there was lightning.
I mean, why wouldn't you?
Well, you can go back to the campus and get on the buildings. Campus is like a 40-minute walk. It's like, if I'm getting struck by lightning, I'm getting struck by lightning somewhere, you know?
Okay, that's fair.
I'll take my chances standing outside the stadium. Thank you. All right, coming down for a restart here. Boyer with control. Tom Musa, Roger Nebelsack, Rich Finkel, Wes Dobbs. Green flag. We're back underway here from Milwaukee. Musa looking to the inside.
Musa's right there with Boyer. Now he's kind of starting to figure out what Josh is doing out there. He's going to try to figure out if he can use what he's learned to get a little bit of an edge on track here. But he's hanging with this 41 nice and firm. Looking around all over the place, looking to the bottom, looking to the top. Boyer hangs on to it, and you see Roger Nebelsack getting a nose to the inside of the Ford machine. Going to be side by side with him coming into turn one.
The inside of Tom Musa goes Roger Nebelsack. Not able to get it done, though, that time through turns 1 and 2. Musa keeps second. Boyer still with the lead as the top three trying to run away from the rest of the field.
Yeah, everyone barrels down into turn one there. You see the 41 try to play defensive to the 4. The 51's trying to follow. Richard Finkel doing a great job there in that 4th spot, though. Hanging tough with everyone out here. So tip of the cap there, this 2 car has just been slowly making his way up through the field tonight.
See Dobbs looking to the inside of Finkel for the 4th position down the front straightaway. 22, big dive. Inside, clears slide job through the corner, through the center of the corners in 1 and 2. I'm a little rusty right now. Makes the pass there on the number 2 car.
It's a nice clean pass, and you see Wes Dobbs doing what he does best tonight, which is just passing cars, just left and right. And you see Tom Musa, though, a little further up front, right there with the 41, though. Still looking all over the place, starting to take alternate lines compared to Boyer around this joint. He knows that he's got a fast car here. If he could just get side by side with Josh Boyer, he knows that he could put up a good fight. Question is, how does he get up front with him? He's going to try to arc that top line a little more than Boyer to see if he can get a run coming off of turn 4 and then maybe into turn number 1 here.
Do you like what you see him doing right now, trying to at least take the corners a little different? It really seems like what he's doing is trying to maximize his straightaway speed, trying to kind of make the corners as straight as possible, if that makes sense.
I think it's a good idea because, and he throws it in deep there, though. I think it's a good idea because, honestly, you're not going to get there by just riding around in the 41's tire tracks. You're just going to be riding around in his dirty air. Anywhere you can get downforce on the nose of that car is going to be beneficial to you. The 41 runs up the track like this and the 4 goes down by the paint. It's going to help him a little bit.
And it's showing how good this track is, right? Being able to kind of navigate your way through the different lines, very important for good racing with stock cars, and you're seeing that right now here at the front of the field with the 3 leaders all taking different lanes, different approaches through the corners at this point in the run.
Definitely. Got a little bit of a race back here, 7th and 8th. Wade Driscoll, Tom Faskow just swapped spots, but Driscoll now about to go side by side with Milky on the 1. Milky jumps in the line, thinks twice about it. A little bit of a stack up, though, from about 7th on back here. Some of these guys Rod Wested right on the back bumper of that 60 machine, though. Gave him a tap or two coming off the exit of turn number 2 there.
Big lunge from the 60 down into the corner. Going to get to the inside of Wade Driscoll. Big run coming here down the front straightaway. Milky on the bottom, Driscoll on the outside. Winn-Dixie versus Furniture Row. Give it to Winn-Dixie.
I don't think a furniture store and groceries are competing, but I guess they are tonight.
Mellow Yellow versus Furniture Row now. Make that pass. Doc Palmer with a heck of a set to get to the inside of Driscoll. Driscoll falling back right now. Oh my goodness. Oh,
yep.
Contact. Gonna be side by side with Bino now. Bino to the inside in the 44.
I think Driscoll got caught in a really bad spot, which is on this high line without momentum.
Yeah.
He needs one good lap to get that rolling again, and continuously getting passed by these guys on the bottom is not helping his case. Oh, Roger Nebelsack almost gets a wall up front, though. He is wheeling it behind this 4-car Tom Musa trying to get on by him.
And Nebelsack right now looks a little bit quicker than the 4 of Musa. Musa, though, able to hold on to the spot. And that's the other thing I think we're getting right now. You can still kind of hold your ground, hold your positions here. Which also is another little important thing with short track racing. This is the TMP Super...
Oh, we got caution out right in front of the leaders here. Mike Hartman hard into that outside wall. Well, that's a bit of an eye-opener.
He just goes for a spin all by his lonesome. Heavy hit to the outside wall. Lucky it's not a next-gen car.
I don't know, Joe. These cars into full-on concrete wasn't exactly pleasant either.
No, but...
concrete wall.
Yeah, well...
No cushioning. No head restraint.
Listen, Ricky. I'm just
Open
trying to make a
helmet.
point. I'm just trying to make a point. There you saw it, though. Hartman going to be done for the night in the number 7. Cars on pit lane.
Yeah, and 41 of Boyer gets a really good gap coming into pit road here. We'll see if anyone can challenge him. I don't think he's going to really get a lot of competition unless someone really boxes him in.
If there's any strategy calls this time, 2 tires might have been a call now that you know it kind of works. Surprised to not see anyone try it. Boyer wins the race off. Set release. Nebelsack Dobbs. Musa losing 2 positions on the pit lane in the number 4. He's going to be scolding his pit crew after this race.
Now get ready on this. With Roger Nebelsack there in second. Nebelsack's kind of been floating around with this lead a few times tonight, but we have not seen... He's been playing around with this a few times tonight, but he has been moving with a lot of speed here. He was all over the back bumper of the 4 there when we thought Tom Musa had something for the 41, so I think he really might have something here up his sleeve. And as we talk about that too, though, right behind him, the 22 of Wes Dobbs is back in the picture in the 3rd spot. Took all race to get it back up front here, but on lap 79 to 125 at tonight's event, the last little leg of this race, Wes Dobbs is going to be right here to try to make a shot at that win.
Remember, folks, if you're maybe looking for some new fall weather wear, you can get yourself a JTN race car hoodie now available again on the JTN merch store with a bunch of other great options. Again, you can head on over to the JTN merch store now and pick yourself up some JTN merch. We're gonna have some new merch offerings tomorrow. That's a teaser up on the JTN merch store. Kind of excited for that one. Might be pretty cool. Ricky, I think, has seen it. Hopefully, he pays attention to his work email.
No. Yes. Yes.
I think you've seen it.
Yes.
I would hope you've seen it. You've seen it,
No.
right?
What?
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Are you sure?
No.
Okay. Getting ready to go back green. Josh Boyer, Roger Nebelsack, Wes Dobbs, Tom Moose, and Rich Finkel, your top 5. Going to be going back green lap 80 of 125. Going to be 46 laps to go. Still need one more stop to make it to the end of this race. We have to think a lot of these drivers thinking about splitting this second half if it goes green. Field makes their way down the front straightaway. Boyer with control. Green flag. We're back underway here from Milwaukee. Boyer able to pull a 2-car length gap now over Roger Nebelsack. Nebelsack another car length and a half. Call it 2. Back to Wes Dobbs. Pretty good spacing here throughout the field right now.
Boyer got a good gap on that outlap there on the 51 cars. Going to give him a little bit of a cushion here as Nebelsack and Dobbs both start trying to calculate and think and create their own little ideas on how to get on by this 41 machine of Josh Boyer. He can just ride around for the moment, try to make it to the end of the race, but who will prevail? Will Roger Nebelsack get up there? Will the 22 Dobbs get up there? Will Tom Musa come back? Don't know, but we got plenty of time to figure out, and right now, I think we might still have to do one more stop, don't we, Joe?
Yes, we still need one more stop.
Which that could blow this whole thing wide open if it don't go well.
If it don't go well.
And don't go too well.
Rod West and Ron Milky, they've been racing around each other all night long, still by each other, still really close to each other. Weston starting to try that higher line. Again, different lines, different strokes for different folks right now, all throughout the field. You want to do some JTN onboard cameras?
Let's do JTN onboard cameras. Woo, look at this go. We're on board.
On board with Roger Nebelsack here in second.
Roger Nebel second. That's all I got.
Yeah, I know. But you can kind of see the difference in line, right? Nebelsack a little closer right now to what Josh Boyer's running his line. Watch Boyer going to kind of keep his car right there with 2 tires into that darker patch on entry and then carve it back down. And then Nebelsack is doing that same thing. So you get the 2 references. Reference out the front. Reference here from the top of the car. See if we can't go back to Tom Musa. Musa doing something a little different. You see, he dives in really low. That time kind of keeping the car low throughout the corner. He's losing time on exit right now compared to those other drivers. We're, again, on board with Tom Musa. See him do it again here in 3 and 4. Dives the car in real low. Lets it wash out a little bit. That time I feel like it washed out a little more than he wanted it to. You can, again, hear that throttle trace. But again, losing time to the top 3 right now, kind of running this line. Wes Dobbs doing something similar. Let's go on board with the 22 and Eagle 1 colors on this car. Let's see how Dobbs runs compared to Nebelsack. A little bit earlier of an entry. Lets the car wash up through the center. Cuts it back low. Reverse diamonding the corner. Or I guess it is diamonding the corner compared to apexing the corner. Where guys like Boyer and Nebelsack, they're apexing a little bit more, getting really low there through the, turns 2, turns 4 are even numbered corners, trying to get a straight exit off. That was loud.
Was it loud?
It was.
The 41 Josh Boyer almost grazed the wall a little bit there. He is using every square inch of racetrack out here right now. Put up a good lap doing it, though, but he definitely used every inch of that turn 4 to make sure that he got his launch off and down the straightaway. Wes Dobbs has not been able to catch Nebelsack, though. They've been kind of running in each other's tire tracks past few laps here. Dobbs has been consistently running faster laps, but I think the problem is as soon as he catches Nebelsack, he's got to figure out how to get around him. And that's gonna take some time, and you see that Boyer is gonna just get away from him more and more the longer it takes him to pass that 51 car. Patrick Nebelsack goes a little high in turn number 1 and 2 here. Dobbs tries to follow him. Kind of taking the same line as him right now, trying to figure out where he can make that run here. He's actually been running faster lap times. That 22 car's been running faster lap times. Their leader, Josh Boyer, in the 41. Boyer just hasn't been able to... Boyer has been running, uncontested up there. So it just makes it easier for him to maintain that lead, even though he is not running as fast as the third place car at the moment. Now, Joe, we got going with like 80 of 125 left, right?
Yep, so we had 46 laps left when we went back. So I would think, again, we can go 31, so kind of you're not in a situation where you have to stretch your fuel here to make it to the end on one stop. I would think you're going to go about 23 laps, pit right in the middle, around the middle. We saw, though, earlier in the race, we had the caution come out in the middle of the first pit cycle, so it's obviously a worry that you'd have. I think a driver like Wes Dobbs in the 22 might be a little more hesitant to pit early, or at least I know I would if I was kind of the one that got stuck in that position like he was earlier. Can you worry about that? No. Should you? Probably not, but are you? Yeah.
Wes Dobbs getting to the inside of Roger Nebelsack. Nebelsack going to let him have it. Dobbs goes sailing on by him into turn number 3. He's going to take that second spot. He's going to set his sights on Josh Boyer. Trying to hang on to this all the way to the end. Now, Joe, I get what you mean about splitting it, but it's 46 laps from the start of this green. We know you can go around about 31 laps on a tank of fuel. Do you try to gamble with a 2-tire call by running it all the way out? Shorter, as we've seen, that it stands to reason right now that 2 tires isn't necessarily going to be a death knell out there.
A what?
It's not going to kill you to just take 2 tires. In some cases.
No,
you
but
think any of these guys try to run
No.
that all the way empty, take 2 tires, and just fill it with as much fuel as you need to get to the end, and try to use that shorter delta on pit road to kind of jump ahead of these leaders?
I find it hard to believe that someone would take 2. I don't know who's in a position to really gain a lot of time taking 2 tires right now. If you take 2, then you're putting yourself in a situation, say we get that late race caution, where you're really going to be out of luck compared to everyone else, right? Yeah, I don't know if I completely agree with that risk. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. I'm going to be wrong a bunch more times.
All right, now 44 Dan Rubino on pit road. So that's going to be our first taker at the moment. So I think you're right. I think most people are just going to split it as soon as they see guys coming down pit road. They're going to be like, all right, tires. Just thinking about that in the back of my head there.
Just thinking about tires.
One of these guys up front, say Nebelsack or Musa, just tries to take whatever the alternate strategy is. Or Dobbs takes whatever alternate strategy on Boyer, what Boyer's doing up there. If Boyer runs it all the way out, pit early, and get those extra tires. If Boyer runs it all the way to the end of the run, then come in early, take those 4 tires, and then try to use that fresher rubber to get some faster lap times out there. I just think right now you can't be doing what the leader's going to be doing on this strategy if you're going to win this race. It's a matter of track position right now, and I think unless something catastrophic gets in front of this 41 in the next 25 laps, Dobbs is going to need some help to kind of chase him down. He's keeping a good about 9/10 of a second gap. He's been running very slightly faster than our leader, but the problem is, a few hundredths of a second here and there is not really going to close the gap quick enough, and then, it kind of stalls out when you catch him.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, just something to chew on there as we see Josh Boyer leading around here. Still coming down for 101 of lap 25, so 25 laps to go here at Milwaukee. Should go by pretty quick. 1 mile track here, so about half a minute per lap, so like 10 minutes, 11 minutes. And here comes the 44. Josh Boyer actually coming in early here. Lap 101 of 25. Going to try to pit earlier than these guys. So that's going to leave Wes Dobbs out here. Now comes the interesting part of this, where the strategy is going to play in. What does Wes Dobbs do? Does he stay out as long as possible to try to get a short pit stop here? Is he going to try to best the 41 on pit road?
Oh, this 22 was catching the 41 too. Oh, that's tough.
Roger Nebelsack coming down pit road. He really made sure he was on the money there coming across the line, though. I think a lot of these guys are going to be just trying to get on and off pit road better than Josh Boyer. Nebelsack's definitely got to do that. Had a really good pit entry. We'll see how he is coming off. On away to Doug Palmer down. The 48 is on pit road as well. 22, Wes Dobbs still running out there uncontested.
And so is Tom Musa. Still running out there. Josh Boyer has gotten past the 2-car of Fenkel. Fenkel's still out on track. Your Roger Nebelsack and Boyer merged together. Boyer going to have that spot pretty easily. Right now, too.
Nebelsack gets really loose off of turn 2 there, but he hangs onto it, trying to fight Finkel for that spot. Richard Finkel hasn't come down pit road yet, I don't think.
No.
Nebelsack is in that 6th spot, I think.
So that's the thing. Oh, we got cars around coming off of pit lane.
48 and the 108. But do we have a caution?
No, we
have no
don't.
caution, Joe.
Phil Cass retires. Good job, Phil.
Dale under green here from Milwaukee. Wes Dobbs still leading this.
Gonna come down
pit road right now. He's going to get right down to speed. Tom Musa is going to follow him. So here it comes. Josh Boyer going to go by him. He's going to unlap himself right here. But what happens with Dobbs?
Gonna be 20 laps to go here from Milwaukee that time at the line. So again, splitting this last run in half is what all of the leaders elect to do. We're kind of in half, a little bit in half. It's close to half.
41 Josh Boyer coming off turn 4, coming down the front straightaway right now. 22 still on pit road. Wheels down, peeling out, coming off pit road. 41 clears him going into turn 1. He's going to have a big lead on Wes Dobbs here. Roger Nebelsack's also going to get on by the 22-car Dobbs.
And we've seen cold tires first lap, you lose some time too, right? Until you get the tire heat up. So Dobbs is going to continue to lose some time here getting up to speed in the 22. Going to have to try to get these tires warmed up and start making that charge to try to get back into the 2nd place spot behind Roger Nebelsack.
And for all this to shuffle back around, looks like the 41's going to come back out with the lead. Josh Boyer leading again here at Milwaukee. Can he hang on to it? Can anyone catch him? Roger Nebelsack in his tire tracks here. Trying to figure out some way to get on by this 41.
As we're closing on the end of this race, folks, if you're enjoying what you're seeing, please drop a like on the video and subscribe to us here on the Johto Network JTN. Would like to remind you, we've got some more great races coming up, including tomorrow night, Maverick Cup Series action returns from the Dover Motor Speedway, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow night, September 13th. Then on Thursday, it's the Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series from Bristol. Coverage, again, beginning at 9:05 p.m. Eastern Time. Saw a thriller there in the spring. Think we're going to see another one on Thursday. Then the Maverick Cup Series heads to Bristol next Tuesday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Of course, those races presented by our friends at TWB Technologies, live right here only on JTN, because together we are better.
Josh Boyer still leading here, hanging on to this lead from Roger Nebelsack. We see Wes Dobbs, he's starting to trail down this 51. Those fresh tires are starting to pay off. You're running about 0.3 of a second faster than the 51, about 0.3 of a second faster than the 41. But only about 16 laps left in this race. Dobbs needs to get past this 51 really quick if he's going to make a shot at this lead. Going to throw it in deep here, try to get to the inside. The 51 and Nebelsack, he's got a nose in there. They're going to be side by side coming off of turn 4 here. 22 is going to be side by side with them coming across the line, though, with those fresher tires. Got a lot more grip in that Pontiac. Wes Dobbs goes up to the second spot here, and now he's going to set his sights on Josh Boyer. And Joe, all the while he was racing the 51 Nebelsack, he was still running faster than our leader.
Interesting note, closing in on 10 laps to go here from Milwaukee. The gap, let's see what it is this time at the line. Ricky, let us know what it is here. What was the gap that time?
1.82. Both drivers ran identical lap times. So Josh Boyer really got up on the wheel there, starting to try to wheel this thing to the end. We'll see what happens this time now that Dobbs has got an entire lap out there uncontested. Josh Boyer coming down across the line is going to run a 27.365, and right behind him a 27.145 for Wes Dobbs. Shrinks it down to 1.6 seconds.
Gap is closing here at the front of the field. Josh Boyer trying to hold on to the victory. He's dominated this race tonight from Milwaukee, much like he did a year ago with the late models here in TMP. Boyer still your leader. Wes Dobbs sits second. Roger Nebelsack third. Tom Musa and Rich Finkel your top 5.
Wes Dobbs still eating into that lead on the 41 of Josh Boyer, down to 1.57 seconds. So small game last time by, but a gain nonetheless. He's going to need this 41 to start kind of slipping up a little bit to help him out, though. Plus side is he definitely has fresher tires than Boyer, so Boyer's tires are going to fall off a cliff a little quicker than him. 1.53, just chipping away with 11 laps to go. I don't know if that's going to be enough. He's going to have to start taking some bigger swings out of this.
This time at the line, 10 fingers from the flag man, of course, means it's time for our TWB 10 to go. Folks, would like to remind you, if you're in the market for some new outdoor lighting, why not head on over to GardenLightsDirect.com. They have you covered from porches to patios to more for all of your outdoor lighting needs. Again, that's GardenLightsDirect.com, GardenLightsDirect.com, GardenLightsDirect.com here on your TWB 10 to go.
27.6 last time for Josh Boyer and a 27.25 for Wes Dobbs. Dobbs has it down to a second gap right now. That car is really gripped up right now. We'll see if he can get to him by the end of the race here, but he's within a second gap of our leader.
Well, Ricky, what do they always say? Getting there's one thing, passing him's another. And for Josh Boyer, right now, you're looking out the rearview mirror. You're seeing that 22 car getting closer, and you have to start making a game plan for what happens when he gets there.
You have to indeed. 0.79 seconds. He's chipping away. You got to think that Boyer is going to make sure that he makes that back bumper, all those Cheez-Its on that back bumper of that Pontiac 41 car as wide as possible. He's going to make a great wall of Cheez-Its there trying to block this 41, this 22 machine, I mean.
Great wall of Cheez-Its behind the 41. That's about the best thing I've ever heard you say, Ricky.
It's a true fact. Cheez-Its are the strongest force in nature. Wes Dobbs has it down to half a second here, Joe, with 7 laps to go. I think it's going to be a question of, I think Dobbs is starting to give himself a little insurance here with how much time he can spend trying to run around this 41 car.
Putting on the afterburners after starting on the pole. Wes Dobbs, I don't even know if he's led a lap here yet tonight in that 22. Lost the lead at the start of the event. Or he led some laps under that cycle, but Wes Dobbs now going to be all over the back bumper of Josh Boyer here down the back straightaway, closing in on 5 laps to go.
Coming down to turn number 3, the 41 gets down, touches the rumble strip just a little bit, gets that car upset. That's going to let Wes Dobbs go to the outside. He's got a nose to the outside. Coming down the front straightaway, 41 hangs on to that, but 5 laps to go here.
And I think Dobbs wants to make the pass to the inside, but Boyer really not letting him. And you see Boyer starting to shift going into the corners right now.
Dobbs is right there, got on the back bumper. The 41 there, come down the back straightaway. He's got his nose to the inside, but the 41 of Boyer is going to really try to hang out on that high line. He's going to hang on to this for all it's worth here on that Cheez-It machine. Side by side.
Into the wall.
Boyer gets into the wall, gets into the 22. They both keep it straight, but Wes Dobbs goes to the lead.
Wes Dobbs to the lead here with 4 laps to go from Milwaukee. Back to the lead for our pole sitter, and he's setting sail.
Joe, that 41, Josh Boyer gave it everything he had on that high line to hang on to that lead, but the car just got so tight there coming off of 4. He couldn't do anything about it, just chased it up into the wall there. Almost had a big incident there. For some reason, if that bounced off and hit Dobbs at the wrong spot, we would have seen both their guys up front here spin out, and Roger Nebelsack would have looked like the luckiest man in town, but Wes Dobbs sailing away from that second position right now. An interesting bit of strategy by that 22 team to stay out there as long as possible, come down, take 4 tires, bet on that fresh rubber to benefit them at the end of this run. And boy, howdy has it. Come across the line for 2 laps to go. Wes Dobbs, 2.5 lead over Josh Boyer in the 41.
Dobbs going to be coming up on some lap traffic. Don't need to push the issue with them, though. That's Dan Rubino in the 44 and the 108 of Doug Palmer. Dobbs comes through turns 3 and 4, knowing that he'll see the white flag off of corner number 4 this time at the line. Wes Dobbs, nice and easy with control. White flag in the air. 1 lap to go here from Milwaukee.
All Wes Dobbs has to do is get back around. Got no competition from anyone around him. 2-second gap between him and second place. This is all his. Open this book and shut it tight.
Well, folks, you can't write a start here at TMP any better. First start, first win. Wes Dobbs comes off of turn number 4 and will win here in Milwaukee. Dobbs takes home the victory. Josh Boyer comes home in second. I don't even know where that 41 car went.
He parked it right after he got across the line.
Uh-oh. Roger Nebelsack going to come home in third.
That's got to be a tough one to swallow, Joe. 41 did everything in his power there. Had the lead for so much of this race, and just right at the end, fresher tires prevailed. Wes Dobbs walked away with the victor here tonight at Milwaukee.
Brings it to the line. Burn it down. Driver 22. Pole sitter race winner. Wes Dobbs from Milwaukee. Might just be parking it for a picture. Pretty good picture.
That's a pretty good picture. The yellow on the top of the car blends in with the paint on the track.
Look at that.
That's what we call aesthetic.
Dobbs, your winner. We'll get to talk with him as well as the rest of our podium here from Milwaukee, folks. As always, cannot thank you enough for tuning in to JTN tonight. Make sure, if you haven't already, you drop a like on the video and subscribe. Ricky, I don't think we could have asked for a better start to our coverage here of the Super Cup Series this year.
Definitely made for an exciting one. Good way to put the best foot forward, I suppose.
Now joining us from Victory Lane, the driver of the number 22 Eagle One Pontiac, Wes Dobbs. Wes, you got a copy? Uh-oh. Go ahead and give him a second.
How about now?
There we go. I know you're excited and stuff, and you probably don't want to talk to us. You want to talk with your crew, but you know these media obligations, they're so annoying, right? I mean, technology don't work. We suck. This is a great introduction, Wes. How are you doing? How you doing? Race winner tonight. How's it feel?
Well, thanks. Doing good.
A little bit better parking it in victory lane.
Yeah, I think I was gonna make it. Caught a lap down, and then I got a black flag speeding on pit road. So
I mean, talk about that. When you have those things happen, I mean, you said it right there, you kind of start doubting a little bit your ability to get back up to the front. But now we're here post-race. You're in victory lane. You got the trophy next to you. You got to park the car at the start-finish line. How does this kind of help build that confidence moving forward?
I've been doing this since 2002. So you just got to keep running your own race. Don't burn your tires up, and just keep knocking it out.
What do you think the big difference there at the end was between you and the 41, obviously able to pass him there late?
Sorry, you cut out a little bit.
Yeah, what was the biggest difference there at the end, just pitting a little bit later than the 41? Do you think that helped? What do you think the differentiator there was?
Definitely it, because he was pushing.
Mm-hmm.
So I just patient. Didn't squeal my tires. Just cutting it off a little bit at a time till once I got to him. Then I seen him start pushing out toward the wall. So I knew I could probably get him, depending on if he blocked me or not.
And that race in there at the end is just fun, right? But Wes, again, congratulations on the victory here tonight. Before we let you go, the floor is yours. Any sponsors, family, friends you want to shout out before we let you go?
Boxes, sim racing. Thank Doc and thank Tom putting on the series and practicing with me, get me back up to speed. I've been racing iRacing for years, and just now came back over about a month ago to this.
Well, heck yeah. Great return here tonight, Wes. Congratulations on the win. And as always, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us.
Thank you.
Wes Dobbs, driver of the number 22 Eagle One Pontiac, your pole sitter, your race winner here tonight from Milwaukee. Let's go ahead and next bring in our third place finisher. He's the driver of the number 51 Pontiac here tonight, Roger Nebelsick. Roger, you got a copy?
Yeah, loud and clear, sir.
Well, third place finish, podium to start the year. That's got to feel pretty good. Led the lap, too. Got some bonus points there. Sum up the night.
Absolutely. I finished a little higher than I expected to. I didn't think that I'd have quite the car, but a couple breaks came my way. Had some wonderful pit work tonight and avoided calamity. And early on in the pit lane on exit there, where I was bouncing off of the 33 and the 60 car, that had me worried for a little bit. But we all came out of that one unscathed, and the Marco Pontiac was pretty fast tonight. Late in the race, I noticed that, or I didn't notice, but my spotter told me that I turned the fastest lap of the race. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Or not the fastest lap, my fastest lap all
Right.
night, I should say, even faster than when I qualified it. And so yeah, I couldn't quite strike the balance that I wanted between conserving tires and going fast, because I thought if I was conserving tires, then they'd drive away from me, but they were still driving away from me all night, so I guess it didn't really matter.
Well, and obviously a lot of groundwork that you helped put in to get this series off the ground this year. I know that's got to be a pretty good feeling with the good turnout tonight. Great racing. For the folks out there that don't necessarily know exactly what's going on here at TMP this year, do you want to take a couple seconds to explain how this year is maybe a little bit different than years past?
Sure. Well, this year we decided to put the late models away for a season and kind of go a little retro this year, especially in the Super Cup Series. And the Super Cup Series was kind of a nod to throwback to the ARCA, the Hooters Pro Cup, Busch Grand Nationals. You saw a whole variety of different paint schemes tonight. There was a couple of, I'm sure, recognizable Busch Grand National schemes. And my Marco Pontiac is a throwback to Joe Cooksey's car that he ran in Springfield and DuQuoin in 1999. So we decided to add a couple bigger tracks this year because the late models were more of a short track series, but we decided we want to go to DuQuoin, which you will see live here on JTN, and I'm very excited about that. And finish the year off at a big track like Charlotte. And also with the momentum, I guess you can say, that North Wilkesboro has, Ricky Bumbalaw, who unfortunately I guess couldn't make the race tonight, he mentioned, he's like, hey, if we do the 98 mod, let's do Wilkesboro. I said, heck yeah, let's put it on there. So it just happened to coincide with the racetrack revival, so we were excited about that. And then next week it's on to the Cup Series. We're gonna have some fun there. It's something a little bit different. We were able to put the PTA physics onto the 2019 mod, so we've geared it to have five gears on the transmission like the current Cup cars do. So that'll be a little different. And then we have our traditional IndyCar series after that. So that's we've got a lot to offer this year at TMP. We'd love to have a few more drivers. If anybody's watching tonight and wants to get in, we're more than happy to talk to you. You can find us on Facebook at TMP Racing Series. We've got a website you can go to. It's a little bit long, I know, but it's also, you can also link to it on the Facebook page, so I won't bore you with the URL. Just search TMP Racing and you can get a hold of us there. So looking forward to a great 2022-23 season, and I'm pretty happy with this third. I think I got a little bit more in the car maybe had for me, so I'm happy with that. So, and I want to thank Jennifer for being so supportive through all of this. I want to thank Ski Citrus Soda for my long-standing relationship with them, and bringing back it's not a company anymore, but Martco Powder Coatings. Donald Farr back out of New Jersey put that company and that car together back in the late 90s with him and with Joe Cooksey and Mark Gibson. So that's my tip of the hat to them this season. And if any of them were watching the race, I hope they enjoyed seeing the Martco 51 running pretty good.
Well, Roger, as always, you got a fantastic group of guys here. Great racing tonight from Milwaukee. Congratulations on the podium, and again, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us after this one.
Yeah, absolutely, Joe. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next month.
Going to be a fun one. Roger Nebelsack, driver of the number 51, your third place finisher here tonight. Well, Ricky, that's going to conclude our coverage from the Milwaukee Mile. Interesting race here tonight, to say the least.
Interesting race. It's good old-fashioned flat track racing. As far as I'm concerned, Joe, a lot of strategy, a lot of just hitting marks every single lap, a lot of dominance, and a surprise winner right at the end there. The 22 car stealing it on a pit strategy. It doesn't get much better than that.
It does not get much better than that. Folks, as always, remember, you can hit that like button and subscribe. Click the bell icon. You'll be notified anytime we go live or new content is posted. You can follow us at Johto Network on Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok to stay up to date as well. In those ways, we always do some little posts here and there and about everywhere over on our social media. Cannot thank you enough for tuning in to JTN tonight. Remember, be a friend, tell a friend. With all that being said, though, folks, for all of us here at JTN, for our producer Bristol, for Ricky Collette, I've been Joe Twansky. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time live right here on JTN. So long for now, folks. Yeah, and they're going to be 3 wide coming to the checker. Never mind, they're going to be... Oh! Turn 4 into the trial with Whitehill and through the grass. It's going to be Noah Joyce winning his first career race in the Red Bull Cup Series.
Off the ride and a wrecking behind him. We have cars flying everywhere. Cars upside down. It doesn't matter. Noah Joyce has done it. He's won at Daytona in the 3 car.
Behind, they're going to be side by side again. Contact there between Sinner and Bordeaux for third.
Contact! Oakley into the wall. That's going to be Jack Healy coming to the line.
Jack Healy wins the ride to